lessons. Let the beast in you just get loose. We all young, wild, and different. We can all get from a little. I know you're terrified by what the future lies, but there's no compromising. It's my way or the highway. We all just slave the lust, hard building, breaking trust. Don't get wild when we come out, like don't get loud when the come out. That's instant. Give up with your friends thing. Tell they bougie, go wait in line with them lame. Talking real rap, tell them break your neck, go and bust a rhyme. Throw one down, pass it around. Hey, what with me now? We running wild. Hey, and nobody can. We on the town. Hey, never come down. I never come down. Lose it. I might lose it. Lose it. I might lose it. Everybody got guilty pleasures. Mine just tend to catch me cases. Handcuffs, police inspections, lawyers, judges, allegations. Turn on your favorite station. You hear the same old song. I feel like, dog, I'm about to drop the bomb. Blow one down, pass it around. Hey, what with me now? We running wild. Hey, and nobody can. We on the town. Hey, never come down.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now. 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports. It's the Broncos going up against the Browns. With that, let's get up to Cleveland. We're standing by our Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday. We've got an AFC battle on tap between the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns. Now an Eastern Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Let's meet the offensive starters, and let's discuss Corey Coleman, first wide receiver drafted out of last year's class.
And there was a reason for that. When you watched his tape, when you watched his games, you saw his explosiveness and ability to play the ball in the air downfield. Don't get hung up on the fact he only ran 4 routes at Baylor. Just coach him up and turn him loose.
They run again with Jackson, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line, but how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Going to throw right side here, complete. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
They'll run it with Jackson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Eric Armstead was a big-time high school basketball player turned into college football All-American. Now they're counting on him in the NFL to fulfill his promise.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds Coleman. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a pickup of 14 there. And the Browns are going to have a first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. But I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Now back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On the run, this is Jackson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that run wasn't very successful. They did have a big one on the previous play. So you get the sense that the offense is probing around, trying to find the ones that are going to work. And when they find them, they'll keep coming back to them.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That one goes for 29 yards on third down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Now it's Jackson, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. They'll set up a throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Lynch. And he's got his man on the out route. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. That is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Yeah, it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Lynch. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Emmanuel Agba in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. On second down, Lynch. Under pressure, they got him again. Emmanuel in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. They'll drop to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, come get a little bit closer this time.
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now it's Lynch. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. Now Lynch to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Second and goal to go now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. Now Paxton Lynch on third and long. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Willie Snead, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Let's take it inside his own 40. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's Lynch. And Braith, the tight end's got it. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And McManus able to put it through, and that will do it for this first half. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Well, there's almost no doubt about the play call there on 3rd down and long. You figure they're going to throw the football. I've got to give a little credit to the offense for taking a little bit of a chance there, running the draw, hoping to catch them off guard. But the defense was ready.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they've printed on. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On play action, they'll throw. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman, 75 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And oh, he kicked it out of bounds. That's a big penalty.
And this is where the rest of the team turns and stares at the kicker and says, you have one job. Execute it.
They go play action here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now it's Lynch. Caught right side. It's Snead. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. They'll come out in the pistol. Lynch now throwing on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth. The Broncos send out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction, and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded just inside the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Lynch. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Second and 10, it's Lynch again. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. On 3rd down, Lynch. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 49 yards. And the Broncos have broken the tie. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down.
Let's go!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. There he goes right side. A great read, and it's picked off. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And the lead is up to 14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
The intended target was Corey Coleman. That'll bring up second down.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Cleveland. 54 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And that is no good. No good. Wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Going to give this time to the tailback. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And on 3rd down, the Browns going to go with a nickel set. Now they'll run on the draw. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
It got his man complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 40 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Let's go!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down.
Let's get this ball back to the offense. Let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And from the 3 now, it's second and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2 score. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And coming out now, the Broncos. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. 4th quarter, 2-minute warning about to hit, and it looks like they're going to get one more play in.
Be interesting to see what they try and do on this play. Do they try and take a shot, or do they just try and get to the 2-minute warning?
And to give this time to the tailback. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. 10 yards to go on third. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play. As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now let's go.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Surveying the field. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. In there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And Denver getting set to take the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing.